You guys seem to really like my Morrowind content. I appreciate you guys, thanks for watching, subscribe for more. Anyway, on to the video. I have lots of nostalgic feelings for Oblivion. It's my favorite Elder Scrolls game. I only played Morrowind last year and ever since then I've been hooked. Oblivion is definitely my favorite hands down, but playing it again as a battle mage after playing Morrowind makes me feel like seeing which game has a better magic system. Magic is very vital to the Elder Scrolls series. The Bretons use it, the Ultimers use it, hell, even the Nords use it. Every race depends on magic in one way or another, and the Elder Scrolls universe would be a much different place without it. First things first, I gotta tell you guys something. I really hate the fact that you can't automatically regenerate magicka in Morrowind without potions or spells. That really sucks. I also appreciate in Oblivion that you have more of a physical indicator on how long your spells will last. In Morrowind, you had this little tiny blip that you could kind of barely see, and before you realized that your spell was almost done, it was already gone. Being able to understand clearly how much time a duration spell has can more often than not mean life or death in these games. This works better than Morrowind's system. So let's start with the Destruction class. In Oblivion, every skill is ranked in 5 tiers: Novice, Apprentice, Journeyman, Expert, and Master. This is a very organized way to classify the potency of the spells and the skills you have. However, this is also very restricting when it comes to role-playing. Allow me to explain. If you want to buy a spell that is above your skill level and you try to use it, despite having enough magicka to perform it, unless it's a scroll, the game actively tells you no. The game tells you no, you cannot use that spell that you just bought with your money. How dare you even think about using it? You can't even attempt at it until you reach this arbitrary threshold that Bethesda has set for you. Before I played Morrowind, I hadn't even noticed how messed up this is. In Morrowind, you have chances to cast, and it was really frustrating to mess up a cast, especially right before you get killed. However, I always had that one spell with a very low chance, but it could save me from a very difficult situation if cast. Most of the time it would fail, but when it hit, it felt oh so satisfying. Now I hear what you're saying. Prometheus. Oblivion doesn't have chance to hit or cast anymore. So would being able to cast powerful spells at lower levels make magic feel overpowered? Well, my response to that is no, not really. Because 1, if you have that many points in magicka early game, then you are most likely a glass cannon, and a rat could probably kill you if caught by surprise. 2, enemies are fully capable of dodging your spells and even using spells that reflect damage. And 3, if you miss that powerful spell, your magicka slowly regenerates, leaving you vulnerable, unless you have potions, which Oblivion actively limits their usage. But let's pretend I didn't say any of that for a second, and let me just respond with this instead. It's fucking magic. Of course it's supposed to feel overpowered. You are taking the laws of nature and altering it through supernatural means. You are taking the elements of the universe and bending them to your will to be used for your own purposes. You are directly influencing the minds of others and changing their brains so they think of you as a close friend that they've known for years just to get information out of them. Literal mind control. You are physically closing fatal wounds in mere seconds that would normally require medical expertise and equipment centuries ahead of your current timeline. You are using your power to call upon the most horrifying abominations from the deepest pits of hell itself to fight for you against their own will. You better fucking believe magic is overpowered. Magic is overpowered by definition because it's supernatural. So you can miss me with that nonsense. That is not an argument, I'm sorry. Next is alteration. I'm very disappointed that jump is no longer a spell. Gone are the days of leaping tall buildings and soaring through the sky free of the dangers that lurk below. No slow fall in case you overestimate a leap of faith you took. You can no longer levitate to show off your power or escape a dangerous situation. Nope, you are grounded. You can no longer lock doors either. That sucks. All this is very disappointing. Now I can already hear what you're saying, but Prometheus, Oblivion gives you the ability to fast travel outside of combat. So wouldn't be able to fly around outside of combat be redundant? No, it wouldn't, Jimmy, and here's why. You can only fast travel to big cities and places you've already been. So using jump to discover a new location isn't redundant. Plus, I love jumping really high in Morrowind, healing myself while I'm in the air, equipping my sword, then smashing my blade on top of my enemy's head. You can't do that in Oblivion, and that's just no fun. The flying spells have a wide variety of uses inside and outside of combat, and it's a shame that Oblivion sacrificed these fun spells for realism. Next is mysticism and illusion. I don't really have much to say about this one, only that you can no longer detect keys. I can think of many situations in Oblivion where this could have came in handy, so that sucks. I understand a few cuts made in Oblivion. We need not detect animals when we can find animals and people with the light detect spell. Most enchanted weapons are very hard to miss, so there's no need for detect enchantment either. The teleportation spells like Almsifi Intervention and Divine Intervention are obsolete because we are no longer in Morrowind and there's fast travel. The only reason I see to use it in Oblivion is to escape a sticky situation or escape a dungeon faster. The same goes for Mark and Recall. There's no need for Blind Spell or Sanctuary since there's no chance to hit anymore. You don't need a Sound Spell because there's no chance to cast and silence exists. I'm a quality over quantity type of person, and the system needs to have a purpose other than just to exist. So I don't really see too much of a problem with these spells being excluded, only that they didn't replace them all with something better. Next is Conjuration. You can no longer summon more than one creature to help you in battle. That really sucks. Only when I played Morrowind did I truly understand how much potential I have as a mage. Gone are the days of summoning 10 ghosts, 2 scamps, and a flame astronauts to defeat a powerful foe, or if you just want to entertain yourself. Now it's only one summon. Just one. You can no longer summon Bone Lords, Bone Walkers, Great Bone Walkers, Centurion Spears, Gold Saints, and Winged Twilights. I know that 2 years ago I didn't even know that these creatures even existed, excluding the Centurion Spears, but that fact only makes me want them back more. This doesn't hurt the experience too much, but consider the limitations made to role-playing. Imagine you are role-playing as a Dumner mage from Morrowind. You lived there for 25 years, and you've come to the capital to make your fortune and seek adventure. You find yourself in a deep, dark cave and get ambushed, and you can't even summon the creatures from the Ashlands to assist you. You are restricted to summoning the native creatures of the capital and the plains of Oblivion. And you know what's funny? Oblivion is already bloated with summons, so 6 more summons with specific weaknesses and abilities that can shake up gameplay wouldn't hurt anything. Unfortunately, Bethesda didn't think these creatures worthy of keeping, and that's quite a shame. Enchant. Well, in Oblivion, Enchant isn't even a skill, so, either way, functionally it's the same as Morrowind, except that you can't use a specific enchantment on some items, and if you want to enchant in Oblivion, you'll have to use sigil stones, or you'll have to join the Arcane University. I wish I didn't have to do that, now that I know that an older game allowed you to just enchant if you had the right equipment. And in Oblivion, armor is reserved for passive buffs. I do understand the changes. When I first played Morrowind, it seemed kinda jarring that I could use a pair of pants to shoot lightning at people, but on the other hand, it also provides a way to roleplay in specific builds while having magic items that can enhance the experience. It does really feel good when you need a specific spell but you aren't a mage, but you held on to an item with the enchantment you need to continue your quest. It really gives you this feeling of progression, like you've built a capable arsenal of different weapons and armor and trinkets to use at the right time. It can make you feel very resourceful and prepared for anything this game has to throw at you. You can also charge your enchanted weapons while resting in Morrowind, giving you more opportunities to use your enchanted items. But on the other hand, Oblivion's passive system can give your items more importance, causing you to value them more. Having passive buffs also doesn't disrupt the flow of battle, allowing for a more fluid combat system. It can be very frustrating traveling in the dark and having to use a Night Eye enchanted hat while in a fight because your Divine Intervention belt isn't charged. Morrowind could benefit from Oblivion's passive buff system, and Oblivion could easily allow for your character to wear more armor pieces for more variety, just like Morrowind. You can really make a strong case for both systems, so I'm a bit conflicted. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. In Morrowind, alchemy is tricky. In the early game, your potions would fail a lot, but you started to understand what ingredients made the potions you wanted. I eventually learned that crafting these potions can make you a good amount of money, if you put the time into it. As my skills increased, so did the value of the potions I was making. I later found out that the potion effects in Morrowind stack, and I figured, What if I gave myself more intelligence with the potions I'm crafting, and I used that intelligence to make better potions? I thought to myself, there's absolutely no way that's allowed in the game. That can't be allowed. Lo and behold, there I was, getting high off my own supply while making the strongest, most expensive potions I could. I became a master of alchemy, and went from a thief who stole and sold everything in the census office to a strong pillar in the arcane community. A wealthy and powerful battle mage that could and actively did buy or bribe my way out of any trouble I got into. I even have close and personal relationships and dealings with every pawn shop and mages guild. I even was an active member in House Tevinter. Morrowind was mine to rule, and it all started when I crushed a mushroom and egg in a mortal and pestle. The alchemy system in Oblivion is fucking gimped. I barely touched it before I played Morrowind, and when I did, I realized that the potions you make generally don't come close to what the ingredients sell for. Only when you get to the expert and master level do you make enough money to even come close to breaking even. Your potion potency is no longer determined by your intelligence, and you can no longer stack passive potion buffs. So you can't make yourself super smart and create a potion empire as the Imperial City's new kingpin. The only upside is you can make potions with one ingredient in the master level. Whoopi fucking Goldberg. You know what, let's just move on. Restoration is perfectly fine, I think, to be honest. Next. Actually, that's all the arcane schools right there. So my final thoughts on this subject. When I first started making this video, I didn't expect to feel this way about Oblivion's magic system. I'm torn, because Oblivion was my introduction to the series. The only curveballs you get are spells that you get from Daedric princes, like Stark Reality and the Wabbajack. Magic doesn't make me feel powerful in Oblivion, because all the enemies level with you. Eventually, 200 magicka and 100 intelligence isn't going to cut it. You can't stack potion buffs anymore. You can use Transcendent Sigil Stones and use the plus 50 Fortified Magicka enchantment on all your armor pieces, but you'll need to go over level 17, and you'll have a 0.3% chance of getting the enchantment you want. You can save scum it if you want, but that'll take a very long time to do. You can become a high elf, that'll boost your magicka, but it'll also make you very vulnerable to it. You can be born under the Atronach sign, that'll boost your magicka, but stop you from naturally regenerating magicka. You need to play a very specific way to prepare yourself for the late game as a mage. Honestly, this really sucks, because I'm biased and I love Oblivion with all my heart, but the game that came before impressed me more with the magic system. Oblivion's magic is safe, predictable, restrictive, and boring. Despite fatigue, chance to cast, and not having a hotbar, I receive more joy with magic in Morrowind. In Morrowind, magic can make you feel like an omnipotent god amongst mortals, or it can make you feel like someone with fetal alcohol syndrome who was born with glass bones and paper skin. You need only to put the time in and you will get rewarded with amazing power. That spell that you feel you could never cast successfully will become your main spell to use in combat, while you levitate above your enemies. You'll be able to scale the tallest buildings with a single leap to get a better view of the city and gently float down. In a dangerous situation, you can summon 10 ghosts to aid you as you escape or help to fight. In Morrowind, I feel like I'm role-playing more when I play as a battle mage. In Morrowind, magic is unpredictable, messy, challenging, and rewarding. But more importantly, in Morrowind, magic is fun. I'm sorry, Oblivion, you're in my heart. I love you with everything. Morrowind is complicated and harsh, and she's not really the best looking, but we have way more fun together. I can't really explain it well, but when I use magic in Morrowind, I feel free. I'm free to cast whatever I want, whenever I want. I'm free to fail the cast. I'm free to fly anywhere. I'm free to summon as much as whatever I want, whenever I want. I'm free to get rich and become the ultimate kingpin without restrictions. In Morrowind, I'm free to roleplay as the battle mage I always wanted to be. And that's why I like Morrowind's magic system more. And that's the end of my video, guys. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't like the video, well, you can subscribe anyway to know when I upload so you can hate watch my videos and tell me how stupid I am. Every little bit helps. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So long, farewell, leave me the fuck alone, and take care.